Hey, this is Dan.
And Bob.
And it feels weird doing this without a third person, but welcome to episode 61.
61.
61. That's what I was saying of the GigaBoots Podcast.
Oh man,
we didn't name this.
Xenoverse.
No.
That sounds like what you name when you're out of names.
How about DMC RUN?
I think we need at least one more DMC in there.
Okay,
but sure.
DMC in parentheses for the DMC Entertainment System. Yeah. So we've been playing games. We got some news to talk about.
Well,
Eric's not here.
Oh no.
Agra's not here.
What are we gonna do?
And you, Bob. We're gonna talk.
I think this is the first time me and you visually have been the two podcasters. The only other, just two podcasts was you and Agro.
Yeah. In fact, the last time you and I sat in front of a camera for an extended period of time to talk about a thing was our Gravity Rush review.
Oh my god, yeah.
And, you know, based on the fact it's a Gravity Rush review, you should be able to extrapolate how long ago that was, so...
I'm sure we just did that way after the fact.
I love
probably
that.
Last month.
Yeah, probably. No, I guess. So Sony put claims on that. Did I ever mention that to you?
Yeah,
That's
you
still
mentioned.
bullshit. We didn't even use, like, gameplay videos. We just had it running on a TV in the background and then filmed the fucking Vita. Bob, what the hell?
It's that's the thing that the product or the pin for Majora's Mask came in that you got if you pre-ordered Codename S.T.E.A.M. Guess what? We had lots of extra stuff.
I'm gonna need one of those.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, we can. Hopefully.
So Codename S.T.E.A.M's selling well, huh?
Totally.
Okay, that's good.
I think that I saw like reviews giving it 6s and stuff. Like Jesus.
I mean, I thought it was bad.
Yeah, it was like unless things just go even worse in the main game, which they can totally do.
I mean, yeah, the demo already had like you sitting around forever waiting for an opponent to take a turn, which is like game-breakingly annoying.
Right. I mean, that's where stuff happened in like Fire Emblem, but it was never close to that long.
Yeah, no. I mean, even Advance Wars, you had to wait if they had a huge army, but it was never that.
Yeah, and even Valkyria Chronicles, where the areas were much larger and there were much more enemies.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So, hey, we played some games.
We didn't play that one, though.
No, we
Not
played
recently.
that demo like over a month ago, I think. So, let's start with you, Bob. What have you been playing? Thus, we can explain the title of this episode.
All right. First, I've been playing Devil May Cry 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
What else?
Then Devil May Cry
Okay.
Definitive Edition.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And then Dead or Alive, last round.
Oh, okay, cool. For Devil May Cry 3, you actually beat Dante Must Die.
Yeah, I finally did that.
You stayed up until like 10 in the morning or some shit.
Yes, I did. Because I was like, I'm so close. Because the 3 days leading up to that, I was like, oh my god, I'm getting so close. But I have to go to bed because I have to go to work, and that sort of thing. And I'm like, okay.
And then on that day, you didn't have to go to bed by 5 a.m.
Right, I didn't have to work till like 2. So I was like, you know what, screw it.
I just won't fucking sleep. So, yeah, does it feel good when you heard that trophy sound? It was like, so Dante, must die.
It felt a lot better when I heard got the final hit on Virgil than when I got the trophy sound, because that was very long delay.
Of course, it's
Dante, or whenever you beat Virgil there, he always says Dante, and it's super memorable.
Yeah.
Dante. Oh no.
Sparta. It transformed into a dick. What? It does that. The sword does that. I don't control what it turns into. Oh, look, now it's a pair of boobs. I don't even...
Arkham was pretty weird.
Arkham was fucking weird.
That was...
Fucking weirdo.
I also unlocked its Legendary Dark Knight, the skin that gives you infinite double trigger is Sparta. And
you said that's going to be pretty integral to beating...
so then I went and I beat Bloody Palace.
Bloody Palace, there we go.
That mode is insane. Like, I was able to breeze through it because of that, but if I didn't have the infinite double trigger, that gets basically impossible.
I think that's probably what the intention is. That mode's there for people to grind red orbs or whatever, without having to go through a level. Aside from that, it's like, fuck you, go get Infinite Devil Trigger.
It's just sick because, like, I could totally make it up to, like, that last the level 8,000 or so, but then when it switches over to the 9,000 set of levels.
It's just like, here are super bosses in a row.
Yeah, they all go Devil Trigger at that point.
Yeah.
And then it summons 3 or 4 of those Grim Reaper guys that are, like, in the black cloak and they teleport around.
Yeah, the crazy hard ones.
Yeah. And those have insanely high health bars, and they're just there's always one teleporting and slashing. So it's like, there's not even an opportunity to attack unless you're Devil Triggered all the time. I'm like, what did he... This is ridiculous. And beating that gets you Super Dante. I'm like, okay.
So wait,
why?
What is the point of Super Dante?
Super Dante is just a skin of the regular looking Dante, but with Infinite Devil Trigger. Instead of the one that looks like Sparta.
Instead of having to play as Sparta. I guess so you could be whichever you want to be.
Right, but it's like, this is weird.
The single player that you're now done with.
Well, I have to go through on very hard mode because...
and this is a fun thing, trophies.
Yep, trophies.
That don't trigger for lower difficulties when you beat it on higher difficulties.
But I started playing very hard mode just without any Super Devil Trigger or anything. That mode is so easy. I'm more than halfway through and haven't died once.
Now, isn't very hard mode in the HD and thus the special edition basically the original hard mode?
Yes.
Because they ratcheted everything up to make people feel better, and they're like, oh yeah, good job, you're playing on normal.
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought.
But
I forget, does the PS3 HD remaster still let you slash and gun up the load screens?
It doesn't.
Okay,
it's
that's
so
what
annoying.
I thought, and that's just fucking ruining it for me.
Yes, I'm still mashing the buttons to this day.
Because it's a fucking cool thing.
It is. Honestly,
that was up there with Shadow of the Colossus, the entire game. Like,
I really wish this port were better. Like,
yeah, it would have been great if Hexadrive handled it.
Yeah.
What else is there? Oh yeah, the cinematics look terrible.
I mean,
in fact,
I kind of expect that from this.
No, like that's the thing. If I ripped and I found this out after. So guys, I have a disease. Eric literally has a disease. I have a weird, vague mental disease. After I did the Devil May Cry 3 HD edition version of Guile's theme goes with everything, or fits all, Guile's theme fits all, I realized that it would have looked better if I ripped the file straight off the PS2 disc and then just de-interlaced it myself, because they crushed the blacks and the gammas all out of whack.
Jeez.
I think I showed you that. In fact, if you guys just go and look up like Guile's theme, Devil May Cry 3, there's only, last I checked, one person that wasn't SPF or GigaBoots, thus me, who made that, and it's just garbage, so you'll figure out pretty quickly who that was. But yeah, it's terrible. God. I was just so fucking upset.
Yeah, it's weird, because some of them are rendered in-engine, in real time. Those look
that
fine.
One wasn't.
But you see hilarious little things where they made it widescreen and like, oh, that shouldn't be there.
Yeah, that shouldn't be on screen, guys.
Yeah,
I just see a person standing there doing nothing.
Like the demons just disappear at the sides of the screen. Yeah.
Good. Professional.
But also, like, when you enter a room, there's a pretty good chance that it's going to stutter a little bit. It's really annoying. And some rooms start with enemies right there, so it makes it...
Do you know if the 360 port's better?
I don't.
Because Metal Gear Solid was better on the 360.
Right.
I'm still pissed at Sony for the PS3. I'm never going to stop being pissed. At least the design this time will pay out in the long term and didn't suck in the short term.
Right.
Whereas the Xbox One sucked in the short term and will be outpaced in the long term because of all that GPU compute that's going to be super relevant later this gen.
Right. It's weird to see like stuff where some features are missing from the PlayStation 4
yeah, like ambient occlusion and stuff. And like everything I hear is like, no, the PS4 supports that just fine, blah, blah, blah.
Yes.
And I'm like,
why aren't they doing it?
I'm not sure if you've seen the screenshots I've seen, but in most video games, check this out. In most video games, I said ambient occlusion, I meant anisotropic filtering.
There we go.
Because the ambient occlusion's in all of it. Sorry, their acronyms are too similar, AF versus AO.
Right.
But in any case, most video games, much like most points in your life, your perspective looking out, and there is an angled floor that goes towards the horizon. Now check this out. Without any subtropic filtering, that floor looks like shit. So maybe you could demerit a bit of the resolution, bring it down a bit to put in the anisotropic, because some games look better on Xbox One,
right?
Despite being a pretty substantially lower resolution, just because of that one feature.
Apparently, the DMC has a game with that issue. It has like trilinear.
Which to establish how archaic trilinear is, if I'm not mistaken, the fucking PS2 supports it. In fact, if you boot up a PS1 game in your PS2, you remember you hit triangle on the root menu and you get to choose some filtering?
Oh, yeah.
That is the trilinear option.
Nice.
Sweet.
Sick, dog.
I hope you all enjoy my shower hair. I don't even know if they'll show up in the final video quality. I might render it so poorly that they're like, you have hair?
Whoa, I didn't know.
Crazy. Madness. We got our cinematic frame rate right here, 24 frames per second. It's pretty cool. I think so. But, yeah, I'm really not loving that part of the PS4 where it's just like we don't have these basic... I mean, the DMC, Mickey D's, shouldn't have that problem. That game ran, like, on some pretty basic hardware when it came out.
Right.
At over 60 frames per second at 1080p.
Yeah.
I don't
know.
I don't either.
Also, in Devil May Cry 3, I finally beat the Virgil mode, so all that I really have left to go through on there for trophies is finishing that very hard mode and to get S rank on every mission.
Didn't you also need to get one tiny Earth?
I already found that.
Oh, okay. Where was it?
It was something that required Trickster level 2 and like running up a certain wall and air dashing. I was like, wow, this is weird. It's the only point in the game where that is required.
I have a Metal Gear Solid. Well, I can get to that later. So in any case, how's DMC, the DMC Mickey D's Run Edition, treating you on the PS4?
I've only got to play like maybe 30 minutes of it or so. Honestly, not like a huge impression time.
Real quick, before you continue, I just had a thought.
What's up?
Now, with Unfinished Swan, it's one of those games where the PS3 version had anisotropic filtering, and the PS4 version actually looks worse because it doesn't.
Oh, that's sad.
What if DMC's that?
Well, it doesn't matter because, God, it looked awful on last gen, and it ran half frame rate, less than that even.
And had Unreal popping out the ass.
Yes.
Is it still, it's still there, but is it like hugely...
It does look a lot better in that regard.
Okay.
Like, it's not nearly as just constant.
Yeah, because like...
Though I'm skipping pretty much all the cutscenes, so I'm not seeing all of it.
That's true. The harsh camera angle changes are really what causes that.
Right.
But, you know, the PS4 hard drive's a lot faster, and it's not even like it's a better hard drive scenario. It's the system's better designed to get data off of that fucker and into the game.
Of course.
For a number of reasons. So, yeah, I would imagine. Yeah. Also has 8 gigs of RAM.
Yeah.
There's like no fucking excuse
for it. The game would probably be stored in it. I mean, it was...
Yeah, you're probably right.
I think they're supposed to up the resolutions of the textures a bit, but it's not really...
Yeah, because,
major.
You know, I'm sure, like, the PS3 version to PC was, like, the same difference to, you know, PS3 version to this. Like, about 4 times better resolutions, probably. So,
but so far it seems like they made it work a decent bit better with having the lock-on system.
This looks like a game I might play now.
Right? Like I can actually stay focused on the enemy I'm trying to hit. It's running well enough so I can dodge.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe it's me, but I feel like it running at 60, it looks a lot better.
I'd say it looks better. I still don't like the art to it. A lot of it. The way a lot of things move is just like, that's weird.
Yeah, that's fair. I don't know that I dislike the art design. I think it's neat in some areas, and...
Yeah, I think my main major point... I guess just the way people looking at that.
Oh yeah, they're hideous.
Like Ninja Theory people are just ugly.
They're fucking ugly. Meat creatures. They aren't people. I like how the architecture looks and the cool like flaming and floating through air that happens in the middle ground. What is that called again? Purgatory?
Something.
Is
like
it Purgatory?
No, I don't.
It's not Paradiso,
right? It's
I think
something
it was
like
Purgatory.
It might be Purgatory.
But in any case, yeah, I think that effect looks cool.
It's a nifty looking
when it
thing.
runs at 60,
right?
Because it's not visually stunning enough to justify a 30.
No.
Had a coworker say they liked Tomb Raider.
Okay.
You know, the AAA one.
The Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider.
Oh.
Tomb Edition.
Oh my god, why isn't that what they called the re-release?
I don't know. Just Tomb will be your grave. I always find it weird to talk to normal, casual people who aren't like used to an engaged, deep conversation about games, like a deep cut. She's like, I really like that. I'm like, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's about all I can say because other than that, I'm like, it's a fucking Uncharted knockoff, but kind of okay, but kind of fun, but not good enough. But like, yeah, so that was fun.
Right. I mean, that's what I have to do constantly for customers of like,
right.
I shouldn't just tear into this.
You like garbage. That's cool. Back again for another Call of Duty, huh? Oh, the one on the Vita didn't treat you well. Who could have said that?
Dude, I talk to people who love the one on the Vita.
Of course you have.
But yeah, other than that, it's well. Oh right, the style system, the style rank system, rather.
Yeah.
They said that they made it harder, like a lot harder.
Yeah.
They are totally right. They might have gone overboard with like how difficult it is. I got like through the first mission, I got D on style rank.
Yeah.
I could hardly get above that because I think they designed it with the thought of you'll always have all the weapons. So when you don't run through the first time, you don't have the weapons.
Yeah.
Essentially, you just can't get a good style rank. Which is also a broken way to design that.
Yeah, because it should be logarithmic, so that way you can get to B before it really starts kicking your ass.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Devil May Cry 3 and 4 were, where if you didn't have a lot of weapons or a lot of abilities, you could still get to B by just being competent.
Right, you can slowly get up to A rank even on 3 and 4. Just,
if you're proficient, Right,
if you just know, hey, I have a decent number of attacks for this one weapon.
Now, just like we were saying before, the pendulum swing thing. So this is a pendulum swing away from what it was before, which was fucking broken garbage, where you could get to triple S and DMC it would just Mickey D's.
You could just do like a single hit and go up to triple S and stay there.
See, that's great.
Which is insane.
I think that's incredible. That's better than what the current situation is.
I'm thinking maybe, hey, after you unlock all that stuff, apparently there's also some weird motivation for finishing enemies with the finisher attack, which is like the end of a combo. I'm like, that seems other things. It's very against DMC style.
I feel like the way they did damage in that also kind of put you towards that. I feel like the last hits did a lot of damage compared to the ones leading in. And I mean like a difference of like 5 times.
Yeah.
Like it was pretty big. And that's from me playing the demo. I don't even know how the final game with all of its different weapons worked out.
That's kind of how it felt.
Yeah.
It's a strange thing to do, honestly.
I think so. Yeah.
That,
because
like
Bayonetta
kind of
matter.
Yeah, Bayonetta kind of did that in the first outing with the Wicked Weaves, but there were so many early ways to get to the Wicked Weaves that it didn't feel like you had to get to the end of some long combo.
There's a really strong justification for that with the Wicked Weaves, where it's like, oh, this crazy fucking witch bullshit.
Right, it's something in this, absolutely huge.
And he takes a long time on that last.
Right.
Like he's just tired and his back hurts.
That was
a lot of stabbing.
The stinger being set to be able to do R1 and just forward like normal. Thank God.
Yeah, what was it before?
It was double tap forward in attack, and it would never go to the right enemy.
No.
And it was just frustrating to use, like crazy.
Man,
and at 30 frames a second, it was absolutely even worse.
Where the fuck's Metal Gear Rising for PS4?
I don't know. They keep talking about the 2nd anniversary. Like, that's a big deal. And not talking about...
I'm sure they'll announce it at E3.
You're right.
And it'll come out by the end of the year.
Maybe.
And I'll buy it. Yeah, because it's like, I bought the first one. Okay, so I have this thing, right? Where it's like, if I see a thing that's beautiful and I want it to keep happening, I spend money on it. I spend premium dollars on it. Like, if there's a movie that I know will be fucking incredible, I'll go and see it in a movie theater. A lot of people have this disconnect where they don't understand when they spend money on things, they are using what power they have to keep things they love in the world.
Right.
Like loved ones and medical bills. So in any case... So yeah, pretty similar analogy here. So Platinum released an awesome action game, and I'm like, here's my $60, please. Thank you. If they re-release it, I'm just buying it again, and I don't even know if I'll play through it.
Right. I hopefully what happens at E3 is they announce 2, and also we get the port.
Right. I imagine.
That would be nice.
Because Konami doesn't have any other games.
No, they don't.
So, of course, they want to work with Platinum to get a game out.
Yeah.
I still want to know what a Platinum legit next-gen game looks like.
Right. I mean, we haven't actually seen any Scalebound.
Yeah,
and that's the only other announced one. Legend of Korra obviously wasn't a legit full next-gen game.
For some reason, I was really paranoid that I didn't record the visual. But yeah, no, Legend of Korra clearly was just like, and we got it running on PS4 and Xbox One.
That's cool.
Go us.
How's
Dead or Alive 5?
Hey, one more thing on DMC.
Okay. DMC the Mickey D's. Yeah.
Yes, I also tried Virgil Down for the first time.
Oh yeah, is that the DLC?
That is the DLC.
Okay.
You get to play as Virgil.
And it comes with the new one.
Comes with the new one.
What a deal!
Right, it's $40. Get all of it. I hardly played much of it. Apparently, Virgil doesn't have anything set to the Stinger movement.
Yep.
Nothing.
Mm-mm.
That's the pretty major, like...
Nope.
That's one of the main inputs for that video game.
Not Devil May Cry 2.
No, even that one.
Lucia. I don't think she had a stinger.
Did she not have a stinger?
I don't think she had a When/if we do a Let's Play
my God.
of DMC 2, are we playing as Dante or Lucia? Or both?
Maybe both, but that will take forever. And it's so... They're both so bad. Oh,
yeah.
Man.
Yeah, that game's incredibly bad. It makes some of the games we play for What Indie Hell seem cogent.
Right?
Oh, that church blew up. Go in this household. Okay.
Kill those monkeys again. All right.
Use the rocket launchers on the monkeys. Monkeys hate rocket launchers.
But the Dead or Alive.
Yeah.
Last round.
Mm-hmm.
I found out that they in the latest patch they added a code so you can just unlock all the costumes that are available without buying extra DLC.
Have you done that yet?
Yeah, I did that because I was like,
I don't think that's fun.
It doesn't unlock them automatically for Honoka or Raido, who are the two new characters. That makes sense. So I went through and played Honoka a few times to get all her costumes out. Unlocked.
Okay.
And I haven't played Raido that much yet.
Because he's Raido.
Yeah, and I was like, I already feel kind of bad for getting good as Tengu. I don't need another boss character.
Nah, go to just training mode, Bob. Get 75% of his fucking shit done. So, Bob.
Also.
Yeah. There's a thing. A feature, one might call it?
Yes, something else to unlock with this code.
Okay, so it was unlocked via the code.
Mm-hmm. Or the other way to unlock it is by losing his 10 different female characters. Which is weird.
Okay. So it's a physics simulation.
Yes,
like we showed off in the quick play that looks a little broken.
But yeah, now it's the OMG mode for breast motion.
Yes.
And it is like Dead or Alive 1 scale insanity.
It really is. That shit's fucking insane. We recorded a video of it. I intend to get that out at some point, but I'm focused more on legitimate quick plays at the moment.
Not whatever that is.
Not whatever that becomes.
But I don't know. I kind of like it just being so insane. Like, it's hilarious at that point. It's not even... like...
Yeah, no, because no one could possibly find an alien creature in a woman's shirt attractive. I should take that back. The internet's listening.
Right, I'm like, damn.
But in any case... yeah, no, it is just funny at that extent. It's just fucking ludicrous. Right. Like, that's not even debatable. It is ludicrous.
Just them moving even the slightest bit just causes womp.
I mean, they're doing like this, and their boobs are like... And, like, not even in unison. They're fighting.
Right.
They are sweater puppies. Just fighting each other. Yeah, that was ludicrous.
Right? It's insane. I don't...
So maybe that's for the best. Honoka looks like a poor tortured person in that mode. It's terrible. See, I didn't realize she had the largest breasts of any DMC, Dead or Alive character. DMC. New DMC would be much funnier if they just had this weird cast of like overly large-titted females.
Right? I mean, there's just the one. So.
There's just the one, and she's a conservative design because of the theme and aesthetic of the game, of course.
Right.
So yeah, that's why it would be funny, because it would juxtapose very poorly. I'm like, oh, Kasumi! Yeah, so...
Oh, yeah, also for Devil May Cry, when that one released...
Devil May Cry or Devil May Cry?
Devil.
Okay.
May, cry.
Wait.
Is, they released a new trailer, and it had actually in-game scenes from Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition that had no cinematic of Virgil for a moment.
Yeah, I saw that. When's that coming out?
They just said summer.
Summer.
Okay. And they do say that they're going to do a marketing campaign. They just, they're waiting till after this one's out. And now it's not even been a full week yet. So
on one hand, I'm like, cool, they're getting behind it. On the other hand, it's like, man, I am really sick of these Japanese companies trying to get me excited for an 8-year-old game.
Yeah, it is frustrating. I am super psyched just because...
Yeah.
That's one of my favorite games.
Right.
I really want to see them...
And you hate PC.
Yeah. I mean, I dumped like 50 hours into the PC version already.
And you don't even like PC.
Right. And I just want to... just the most basic things would make me incredibly happy. Like just adding alternate costumes.
Okay.
It's sad, but true.
The bar. You can't even see it.
I really hope they don't try and implement a style rank system like DMC has, because
I don't think they'll mess with that.
Yeah, I don't think they will, because I mean they're adding Virgil, and that should be cool. Like if they give him a full moveset.
I'm just kind of sad because I don't care if they add Virgil personally. Like,
yeah,
I need something different for me to want to go back and play that game, because I didn't enjoy Virgil in Devil May Cry 3.
Right.
And even if he is more developed, he might not have a stinger, Bob.
There's no, he has a stinger in Devil May Cry 3.
I know that. You know that. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Devil May Cry 4, I enjoyed it when it came out. I played through it, I think, twice. Yeah, you can't really slap graphical features on it and make it look better. I already have it on PC.
Yeah, it's not going to look much better, I don't think.
I don't know what else, because I don't care about alternate costumes or Virgil.
They could also add new stages. Honestly, I wouldn't put it past them to do new stages or bosses.
That worries me more because of the Jester fights from Devil May Cry 3.
But they've had so much longer this time. I want to believe
But they haven't been working on it this whole time.
No, but I want to believe they have at least the sense to not add in Jester fights.
Yeah.
Jester just shows up anyway.
And he's like, hey, what's up? I'm in the wrong game. Enjoy this PS2 model, shitlord.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
It would be cool to see them do something with...
that insanely low-res face thing.
Of course he does.
It just looks terrible. You were saying?
It'd be cool to see them do something with Lady and Trish, too. Like, adding any more story to the actual Dante side would be great. Adding... actually playable Lady or Trish would be cool.
What would get me interested is if they gave Dante a new game where it's just properly designed with him. Like,
right.
Where you play him from the beginning, you got new cutscenes, etc. That would get me super psyched. Because picking him up for the 3 chapters or whatever...
That was actually like 10 chapters or so. That was like half the game.
But they go really fast.
They go way too fast.
And they're way too the same shit again.
They really need to, one thing that I would really like to see is rebalancing Dante completely, because his stinger was so OP in that game.
No, that's great.
It was just like, go double trigger his stinger, you win.
Uh-huh.
And that's...
done.
That's so lazy.
No, see, his stinger is as powerful as the fan base loves it.
Okay.
That's what they were thinking with that. And it worked out great.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Totally.
Yeah.
Good.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I need something more than, but we'll see.
Right.
I mean, at a basic level, it is just really sad for these Japanese companies to try to get us excited to buy the same shit again.
I wish, I wish there were already a 5 announced or something to just be like, hey, this is a nice thing to do just to have anything for now, but we know what you want. We know you want a new one.
Yeah.
Instead, it's like, hey, buy this, and then maybe we'll make you the new one.
So
we're good for it.
Kind of like Chrono Trigger.
Yeah.
Which, man, Chrono Trigger is still the worst one of those cases where it's like, buy this thing again. Again! You didn't buy it the third time. We're not making it.
Why do you hate us?
Because it was PS1.
Yeah.
Was there anything else, or did it go PS1 DS?
Yeah, I think it was PS1 DS.
Okay, so it was buying it the third time, but it was only the second remake. And it was really the first good time they made it. Because that translation in the original and PS1 version is not so good.
And the loading
on the PS1 one is terrible.
Version, and also the jarring cuts to the cutscenes. Yeah, that was... There's lots of jank in PS1 version.
Yeah. Say Bob, I played some games too.
Oh, yeah?
I like OlliOlli too. I hear you also played
I did play the OlliOlli too.
Welcome to Ollywood. We have a quick play going up with that.
That's
overall,
cool.
Did you enjoy it?
I liked it so far.
I thought it was.
It takes a lot to get getting used to.
Those controls.
Yes.
Yeah, the controls are a madness box.
They are.
But I kind of really love how much of a madness box they are, which is weird because when Skate came out, I basically went, fuck you.
Right?
Because something about its attitude of like, Tony Hawk's not a legitimate skater. Here's the real skater. And I'm like, fuck you, I'm still using a controller, you shitlord. This is about as real as Rock Band normal expert. You know?
Right.
Expert guitar. Not even the pro guitar instrument.
No,
there's more authenticity to that than there is Skate on a controller.
Right.
I just fucking hated that campaign. New Tony Hawk this year.
Right.
They keep teasing that. I'm excited. I
really
don't want to be.
Right.
But I am.
Hope that's not something like, oh yeah, well it's HD and it's on the digital stores.
No, they said it's a whole new one.
Okay.
They said it's not a remake, it's a whole new one for next gen consoles.
All right. I want that.
So we're clear, because there might be members of our fan base somehow who don't know. I own every Tony Hawk. My disappointment in me is that I don't own N64 and Game Boy Advance versions.
Hey, I don't think you own the ride.
That's true.
Or
I don't
Shred.
own Ride or Shred, but that's because I don't acknowledge those as legitimate Tony Hawk games.
You're right.
Or
Downhill Jam.
That's not Tony Hawk Pro Skater. That's Tony Hawk's Downhill Jam and Tony Hawk's Shred and Tony Hawk's Ride.
Okay.
I own the Pro Skater series.
All right.
But
I see.
I don't own the Game Boy Color game or the Game Boy Advance game. It's 2D.
I thought that you owned the Game Boy Color or Advance one.
I owned it at launch.
Okay.
I also owned Mega Man Battle Network 2 at some point.
These were things that changed.
Well, to be fair, like, as much as I shit on Path.me for trading in, a lot of the games I traded in, like, Azure Dreams really throws it out of whack. But most of them, like, it is just cheaper to buy it now than the trade-in value I got back then.
Okay.
And I didn't terribly miss most of it. Like, it's not like between when I traded in Battle Network 2 and now that I was just like, why did I do that? Meanwhile, with Azure Dreams, I totally did go, what the fuck's wrong with me? And it's like, young Dan doesn't like roguelikes, much like old Dan doesn't like roguelikes. But Azure Dreams is a really good one. Funny how that works.
Right.
But yeah, OlliOlli 2 is pretty great. Quick Play should be up on the site really, really fucking soon. We also played Camera Obscura. Or I played it.
You did.
You watched. It's a game, a 2D platformer for S.T.E.A.M, where you have the ability to take what is basically a snapshot of the environment, and the platforms have a silhouette, and as you move, it'll drag these silhouettes for a short bit, and you hear the sound of, like, a flashbulb in a camera recharging. And once that sound finishes, which takes, like, a second, maybe two, those things will lock in place. So you drag the environment to a new place to jump off of it, which on paper sounds like a pretty cool idea, but check out the quick play. It's pretty clumsy.
Yeah, I'm like, it's really just a mess. Watch out.
It is pretty messy, especially visually.
Yeah, there's a lot of...
It is, yeah. But check it out. So we also played Under Night.
Yeah.
That was fun.
I enjoy that.
It still needs Shikitono.
It does.
For Melty Blood.
Maybe one day we'll just get Melty Blood 2.
That'd be nice. Because even if Shikitono isn't overpowered, we'll still get to play as Shikitono.
Right? It's crazy. It's been so long.
It has.
He hasn't come to a real console.
Basically.
Like, in the States, ever.
Yeah. We're just referencing this obscure character from a fighting game that never came to the United States.
But you might know him from the anime.
Which we hope you don't. Because then you might be like, those assholes watched blank.
Right? I can't. Tsukihime. That's
Tsukihime,
it. I still haven't watched it. I think A-Girl watched it and was like, that wasn't even good.
It wasn't. Man, I'm trying to remember the translated name. Tsukihime is like something. Fuck.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, if I remember, Tsukihime is just a pile of depression and terrible. But I may be thinking of something else.
It is depressing, but I don't think it's like absurdly depressing like some of the other ones. So I don't know.
It might be grossly depressing.
Maybe.
Really?
I think the Shikitono still gets to like dice some people off.
Okay. Worth it. Because he's Shikitono and his word is law.
Apparently.
Fucking, I didn't play Azure Dreams. I'm too busy on this site stuff, but hey, lots of quick plays coming out, and hopefully the weekly beating soon.
We have Under Night Embers, maybe that.
Maybe that. Get a quick play and a weekly beating, back to back. Variety.
It's a Dead or Alive last round. What?
So much variety. What else? Oh, there's a quick play we haven't recorded yet. It's going to be for a roguelike firefighting game on the Vita called Flame Over. Cool. Now, the reason I was interested in this game at first is because Eric, who has a Twitter account, retweeted a tweet from some game journalist who was like, the Vita is getting its first firefighting game. That makes it, just as good. That makes the Vita just as good as the PS2 and half as good as the Dreamcast. I'm like, yes, that is an excellent way to just like measure goodness in a console. Like, how many firefighting games do you have? Just give me a second.
You really think that would be a more prominent genre?
I actually do. Yeah.
Just because like, as young kids, that's always like one of the top. Things I want to be when I grow up, sort of things.
But, like, there also aren't many games where you're an astronaut.
True. What's up with that?
Because those types of games aren't AAA-able. So, like, they're sim games, so they would belong on PC.
All right.
And that's unfortunate. I hope with the whole new indie thing going forward with PS4 and the digital stores that we can get more firefighting games.
There is that astronaut game where you just... I can't remember what it's called, but it was...
Kerbals?
No, not the one that's already out. Like, one that got advertised at, like, the last...
Where they don't have air?
Yeah, they don't have air.
Very AAA.
They're trying to just survive in some space station that is blown up.
I don't think that's what a kid wants to grow up to be.
Maybe not you.
You want to suffocate in space.
Maybe.
You have problems.
It sounds pretty sweet.
But yeah, in Flame Over, let me go ahead and break it down real quick. You go into burning buildings. There are 4 distinct different levels, and in each one there are multiple stages. Okay, so you head in. You start out with none of your... You just have a basic like fire hydrant and hose, a fire hose. And,
okay, you bring a fire hydrant with you?
Sorry, I meant extinguisher.
Okay.
Yeah, you just have a fire hydrant over here. You're saving it from the fire.
And a dog is following you too?
Uh-huh, yeah.
Okay.
And Dalmatian, of course.
Of course.
Of course. Yeah, so you have your extinguisher and your fire hose, and you have to use both of those to smartly put out the flames and make sure you quell the inner fire in these things, because, certain furniture, you wouldn't just douse it with water and be done. You would kind of need to cover it in extinguisher foam in order to make sure it doesn't reignite.
Okay.
So you're going from room to room doing that, saving people, and completing a mission per stage, like an extra, like, oh hey, I left this valuable thing in one of these rooms. You need to find it. And it's like completely optional. But so you have a timer. So you're finding the timer as you go through these procedurally generated stages to save all these people in these rooms. One time I opened the door to a room, right? Because some doors you douse the flames and you just open them, and the other ones you have to hack through with a fire axe.
Right.
A fire axe. Fucking Diablo style, I open the door and a firewall just kills all 3 people in front of me, and I'm like, They didn't stand a chance.
Huh.
I think I did save one, actually, because she was directly in front of me, and I had just enough time to go, and spray her with water. Yeah, it's pretty cool. Like, there's a mechanic where if you're in a hot room, your health starts slowly going down, and it's going to chop a heart off after a certain amount of time.
Huh.
So you need to either make sure a good bit of the room doesn't have fire in it, and you can stand in that corner so you get fresh air, or you have to leave the room. And as soon as you exit the doorway, as long as there isn't fire in that other room, you can breathe fresh air and then recover that bar and not lose your heart. So it's actually a pretty good game. Right now it's on the Vita, and later it's coming out, I believe, on PS4 and Steam. But we'll have a quick play up sometime in the next week or so to show that off. It's pretty cool. You guys should check it out.
Yeah, what are the controls like? Do you use the analog sticks? Or
So you use the left analog stick to move.
Okay.
Use the right analog stick to point and aim your fire extinguisher and your hose, right?
Okay.
If you're not holding a button for either of those, you use the right analog stick left or right to turn your camera. That's the worst part of this game.
Yeah, wow, that sounds weird.
Outside of that, this game's fucking solid. Like, really solid. Like, I could recommend it. But those controls, fuck. It takes a lot of getting used to, and even at the end of it, you're not getting used to it as much as you're trying to figure out, maybe I could just never move the camera.
Okay. That sounds like something that you want to do.
Kinda, yeah, but it doesn't do... You know how a lot of games, when you enter a room, it sort of drops out the wall visually?
Right.
So you can see in the room?
Uh-huh. Doesn't do that.
No. Not really.
Oh.
So you've got two fires at the entrance that you can't see because of the wall.
Weird.
Yeah. Hopefully on other platforms, with the additional buttons, they could just set rotating the camera to R1 and R2.
Right.
Or L1 and R1.
Can you even adjust the elevation at all?
Of the fire?
Of the camera.
Oh, no.
Okay, so it is literally
left just
and
rotating
right.
left and right. So
yeah, so that could totally work.
Because it's sort of a top-down game.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah, it really could work. And I would like that. I would like it if they patched the Vita version so I can set that to like square and triangle, even though all those are... Oh, yeah, that's right. My solution was just use the fucking D-pad.
Can you do that?
No. Yeah. So hopefully they patch it. But in any case, check out that quick play. That game's seriously super cool shit. Let's cover some nudes. Some news. It's this cold. It's the head cold. I say news, and it sounds like nudes.
And it's just you do it all the time.
Let's take a break. Welcome to the news. I have a cheer wine.
Is it safe?
It's all right.
Okay.
It's a lot better than the glass bottle one. Sorry, guys. I thought that was going to be better.
I still try that because I'm like, there's no way that shouldn't be bad, right?
Right, because glass bottle Coke's immensely better than...
Right. I mean, just mentioning it makes me want one.
Right, because they're fucking good.
Crisp, cold, refreshing Coca-Cola Classic.
That's right.
Metal Gear Solid 4 hoard out in so many ways. Why not that one last one?
I know! We've just been so upset about that for like 7 years running or something.
Yes. Like, Otacon, he needs like a fridge just of those in his chopper.
Yeah, he's just like, Snake, can't you see I'm busy enjoying a crisp and refreshing Coca-Cola Classic? So, a lot of people may not know about this, but before Mighty No. 9, Keiji Inafune announced his first game was going to be Kaio, King of Pirates.
Yeah, so this was even before Sacred Sacrifice, or whatever, Soul Sacrifice.
Soul Sacrifice, yes, it was before that. Wow.
Yeah, this was a long time ago. 2011, I believe, was the year that originally announced it.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because, he quit Capcom that year.
Right.
But in any case, yeah, it was a Penguin Pirate game for the 3DS, being made, published by Marvelous Entertainment, or
right.
Marvelous.
And it was supposed to be some big multimedia franchise, too.
Yeah.
Like, they wanted to do an anime, and they wanted to do, I think, a PC game?
Because Keiji's crazy about that.
Right.
Fucking dick. That fucking dick. Like, he can't just make a good game.
Right. I mean...
Because literally, he can't make a good game.
Right.
But also...
Mighty No. 9 had to have an anime announced before it was even... halfway done.
Yeah, halfway done's right. Yeah, it wasn't even that. And they're like, anime! which really not an anime, a CG television
show.
So in any case, Kaio, King of Pirates, was canceled because Marvelous lost a shitload of money and looked at that and like, what? No.
Yeah.
We played your game. It's not good. No one's going to care if your series is good and your game is bad.
Right.
Sonic Boom. Sometimes I try to tie things together with words that are grammatically correct, and other times I just drop the name.
I saw another episode of that the other day. I was like, that was okay.
I know!
Right? It's weird.
It's like,
it shouldn't be
it was so
okay.
amazing. The first episode was like garbage.
Right. It was the worst.
The first half of episode 2 was fucking terrible. Worse than 1. And then from there on, it's been all right.
It's weird.
It's like not a terrible television show. Like I could watch it and not be like, what am I doing with my life?
Oh man, we forgot to talk about a certain television show that we watched.
Oh fuck, I guess that's news. So hey guys, we watched Powers, the PlayStation exclusive series. Bob and I watched the pilot.
Yes, just that one first episode.
Now, I'm gonna represent Eric's opinion. Eric likes the show. What he likes about it, he has not expressed, but he thinks it might be that it has powers and it explains those mechanics. This is in as much as he's talked to me. So, of course, I can't fully represent him.
Yeah, maybe next week on the GigaBoots Podcast.
I'm sure I'm going to watch more of this out of sheer terror and abject horror of, like, how does it look this... Guys...
I don't think I can make myself watch another episode. I'm
going to make you watch at least one more.
All right.
I'm not sitting through one more alone. Just
not tonight, but maybe sometime.
Right. No, I don't want to kill you tonight. Maybe some other time. Powers is bad. And it's bad in a number of ways. Like, there's a general lack of appeal with any of the characters, and I don't even mean, like, visual K appeal. I mean, like, endearing characteristics. Other things. Representative people that epitomize and represent various demographics. You don't really get appeal in any way, whether like superficial or otherwise. The main character is just a white has-been cop who used to have superpowers. They spend most of the episode having everyone bring that up, and they don't really go into many other characters at all. In fact, one guy named the Olympian who dies in the first in the pilot.
Like the opening scene. I think.
The opening scene basically. No, that was some other guy. Some other guy, the cop, died in the opening scene. The scene right after that, Olympian died.
Right. Yeah.
They don't really go into him at all. Now, if it were something like Watchmen, where it's brilliantly written, I would assume that later on they'll go into that. But most of the backstory stuff in this seems really tepid and weak, because you don't really even get a sense for the background or character of the main character. You just get that he had powers once and then he lost a battle and now he doesn't have powers and everyone knows him, and that works for him in good and bad ways.
Right. That sort of thing could be interesting.
What sort of thing?
Of just superhero who's lost his powers.
Absolutely.
And now is trying to just be a hero, but he doesn't have powers anymore. But
yeah,
there's
if the characters were more human. You know, I'm not saying, like, a lot of people say realistic characters, and they throw that around in stupid ways of, like, no one would be that silly. These characters aren't realistic. It's like, no, some people are fucking stupid. If he was a more realistic character, more developed, you know?
Right, if we saw anything more to him than what we did in this pilot episode. I mean, he doesn't... The Olympian who you mentioned earlier, like... He sees that dead guy dead, like, right there at the beginning of it. Then, like, another 20 minutes later or something, he mentions how he used to be his best friend. And I'm like... Yeah,
he sees him dead at the beginning, like, in the first 10 minutes. 20, 30 minutes later, he's staring at him on an autopsy table. And then 2 minutes after that, he finally mentions, like, oh, yeah, we used to be best friends. And it is, like, that level of delivery, almost.
Yeah. There's just a lot of... not being that interesting.
The weird thing is, I don't think it's the fault of any of the actors. They seem fine. I think it's the material.
It could be. Like,
I'm not even saying source of material.
Not even that. Like, it could just be the script that got moved over from this.
Yeah.
Is that bad?
Now, to give some background before Bob goes more into his opinions, because I don't want to dominate the conversation, Powers has been a comic since before 2001, or at latest 2001, and Sony's owned the rights to make something from it since then. 14 years later, they have finally made a thing for it, and it's this free PlayStation exclusive series.
I feel like back in 2001, this could have been an interesting concept.
Yeah,
like, it's now fully treaded ground.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like, Men in Black was their other comic book initiative back then. Because they took that and made it into a blockbuster franchise twice, and then waited a long time and made a third, and then didn't let people rent it because they want their money. They want their blood money. We made a good one! Yeah? You sure? Yeah, give me $20. I'm like, no.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's exactly how that's gone for a year straight now. Both me and Bob want to see Men in Black 3, but they won't let you rent it, and that is the conversation. So yeah, you're totally right. Back then it would have been novel. That would have been well before Heroes.
Right? I mean, that would be Heroes, and I feel like even the current, like, superhero...
overly serious contemporary setting thing, trope.
Like,
dark.
We're getting that from actual superhero movies that are well directed and everything. Like, Iron Man feels like he's in a realistic world. It is a bit more extravagant, but it actually feels
rich, and it kind of makes sense that way.
But it still feels down to earth enough to not just be like some Batman Forever sort of insanity that isn't even realistic at all.
Yeah, and to bring another point to this before you really go into your side of this, so there was a tweet. The way the marketing's handling this is they're like, check what you can do in a series that's comic book heroes, superpowered heroes in a rated R setting. And when they said that, I was like, oh yeah, it's not on TV, so they can make a rated R. And, you know, they're not on, like, the smaller channels. Like, AMC does rated R. They do The Walking Dead. That's clearly some rated R stuff, or TV mature, I believe it's called. So it was like, okay, I guess, yeah, they could do something interesting with that. They didn't.
I think the other disingenuous part of marketing says from the creators of Breaking Bad.
Yeah, from the production house that made Breaking Bad. And I watched 2 frames of this and went, no. Breaking Bad looks way better. Like, the idea of a production house should be that they have access to lenses or cameras or anything that went into making anything else. I know that it's a very rental-heavy industry, but still, you think they would have any leftover credentials or ability or infrastructure to mean anything to this, and clearly it didn't, because, and this is another vector of how this show sucks, it looks like garbage. It's color-graded like garbage. The camera quality is barely above ours, which, you know, if we had a good lens on this, it would look better than it looks in this video.
And also this video is, 2 hours straight of just recording?
Yeah, and we're recording in a lower codec than we could be. Like
because of that.
You know, if we were filming a series like this, we could have several huge SD cards and do RAW all day long. And that would be fine, because when you're making a series like this, you have any level of budget.
Right.
You think.
Maybe.
Now, it's not cheap enough to come off as a distinctly cheap thing. But it's like cheap in all the worst ways. Like, they have settings where me and Bob talked about it afterwards, and we were like, where was that supposed to be? It looks like just a warehouse with a billboard in the middle for some reason that she's pinned all of these things to. It just doesn't make sense as a place.
Right.
And they don't show an establishing shot for it, which is confusing as fuck. They don't show anything. They just show that. And it's so, like, stage-like almost, like a Broadway play, where you watch her go from one end of this small setting to, like, eight steps that way, and then she notices the severed head.
Right. Like, and it's weird, because there's another little billboard over there, and I'm like, what is this?
Yeah. It's confounding. Confounding's a great word for what it is. And, I mean, that's the thing. I don't think Bob and I, well, at least I wouldn't care too much if it looked cheap and it was just awesomely written. Like, if it had great characters, like, it's not like House was good because it cut to CGI simulations of blood shit. House was good because it had well-written characters. Yeah, House did have well-written characters.
I think Angel looked the Buffy spinoff. That's right. That definitely looked better.
I think you're right.
I was watching.
Isn't that from 2003?
I think so. I was watching The Rifleman last night.
I don't even know what that is.
That is in black and white.
Okay.
That's what that is.
Okay.
That is more convincing and looks better.
Yeah, this thing looks bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no reason your series should look so much worse than the movie Drive. I really think Drive, being a $4 million movie, sets the low bar for visual standards as of 2 years ago. That's how I feel about it. Clearly, this production house didn't feel the same. It's almost like you wish they just...
I mean, you know that it was just rushed out. Because at E3, they didn't even have anything they could show. They said that we're starting this.
Yeah, but like... you're probably right. Did they say how many episodes it is? 12?
Probably did. I don't know what they said, though.
Yeah. You know, I mean, this does reek of Sony new, like, togetherness initiative. Which Sony has kind of been falling away from in the last 6 months, even.
Of course.
You know, because they're like, wait, no, PlayStation's the only thing worth dick.
Right? Because...
Hell, they sold Sony Online Entertainment. Like,
yeah.
high five. That's... Yeah.
That's what you need to do.
I fucking just saw this chain off my leg. Bye. Yeah. Fucking...
And now they're looking to reinitiate, like, the new movie thing seems to just be making Ghostbuster movies, I guess. Which, you know...
You know what's amazing?
What?
We've had this much discussion of Ghostbusters. I somehow forgot. I keep forgetting Sony owns Ghostbusters.
Oh,
maybe if they had a Sony Vaio in the movie.
Maybe if they freaking made a Ghostbusters movie
anytime in the last 2 decades.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would have helped.
Like
the only reason I should remember is because the whole game showed up on the 360 and it was like, crazy.
Right. I just don't know why they don't... Like, they don't have any good movie franchises going.
No, and they did too many partnerships with Adam Sandler, which they've now learned not to, and Netflix is doing the opposite. Yeah.
But yeah, Powers.
Bob, what is your largest problem with it? Like, if you have one thing to point out and be like, this is terrible.
I guess just that it's not interesting. Like,
yeah,
just in general, nothing really grabs me about the universe or the characters or any part of it. Or, there's no stylizedness to it.
And that's sort of the problem. Like, visually, it's not grabbing. If anything, for me, visually, it's jarring because it's bad in so many ways that even I'm competent enough to not do. And I don't have a high opinion of myself. Like, for video abilities, like... I've learned a lot of shit in the last few months, but, like, some of the things they did the shooting day for night thing. Indoors. The warehouse, when she's next to the billboard, they color graded the whole thing down, added crazy vignetting, and tinted it blue, but didn't, like...
Don't even get me started on the outside shots, where the when it does some fast pan, and they do a... radial like blur.
Okay, so there's this aerial perspective where it's going through the sky, and you can tell it's a slow-moving object going through the sky. The reason why is because it's high shutter speed, but they do a blur from the middle of the image outward instead of a motion-based blur, which Bob was the first one to bring up. And it does look bad.
It looks
and the reason why they
bad.
did it, and you can tell, is because the camera kept turning. Like, they couldn't just fly it straight in a direction. They didn't know what they were getting.
Right.
They just got some footage.
Just that could well have been stock footage. Like, there's nothing
actually,
about
it could have. And the sad thing is, it's like, I'm not going to say it's easy to get that shot well.
No.
But I know the steps to do it. Like, you could stick a relatively nice small pancake lens on our camera, get it on an aerial drone, shoot a high shutter speed, and in After Effects do the motion blur like you were talking about, not blur from the center. Oh, and here's a pro tip: fly it in one direction.
Yeah,
because is the superhero flying around like and like
I assume
stopping?
They're mosquitoes.
Oh, oh, that was Mosquiton.
Yes.
You know what was better than this?
What?
Mosquiton.
Definitely. And that had like one insanely annoying character. But I think that the black lady in this is actually more annoying, which is amazing. She's always
Stop me if
screechy.
this sounds familiar. So the main white cop, who is a has-been, has a sassy black sidekick who's a younger lady.
Is always doing some angry pouty face.
Yeah, like to such an extent that it's insane and unrealistic. It's like if Bob was the focus of the shot. Like, me and Bob are the dialogue right now, right? And I'm like, Bob, you used to be real cool. You had superpowers. I love you, man. And here's her back here like, it is that bad. She's just... And it's like, I'm serious. Like, she's cranking it up to 11 because they didn't give her any scene direction at all other than... You're always angry. Because she is, in a way that is completely irrational for her character. They even try to throw in something of like, I asked to be assigned to you, so that way I could learn what it means to think like a power. We're going to make a great team. And she was giving him shit all day before that. So it makes no sense that he's like, fuck you, get out of my car.
Right. Because...
But he doesn't say it like that, so it's not funny. Because if he did, that'd be hilarious. Fuck you, get out of my car. See, there you go. There's your good rated R. Add more get the writers of Killzone 2.
Yes. Oh my god.
To write powers. It'll be fucking cold. I have your powers. Fuck you, Wolfman. Fuck you. Eat a dick. Oh my god, he's cursing a lot. Man, that scene was weird. The wolf.
Yeah.
So they had this dude in a chamber. On paper, a lot of the things in this seem cool, or
right,
like they could work. So you got to imagine in the comic it did.
Right. That probably was a neat scene.
So they have this dude who's played by Eddie Izzards, which some of you might know, especially since I think half of you are overseas. British stand-up comedian. And he acts a lot now. Wasn't Across the Universe and other things. In any case, so he plays this character who's so powerful because he's been eating all these power styler that he has to be detained in a secret facility deep underground, and he's like chained up and like naked. And before the cop comes in to interrogate them, which they didn't even do a good job of establishing this physically in the scene, I just had to infer it about halfway through. They removed a spike from his spine that was keeping his brain detached, basically. Like, they were keeping him mentally asleep with a fucking spike in the brain.
Right. The weird thing was, like, when that scene starts, he walks in on them kind of playing around with it, like...
Yeah.
And it's like, these guys, as the scene goes on, you find out, yeah, no, they have to keep him like that.
Yeah.
What? Did they seriously play with him for hours on end? That's their job. They keep a spike in his head.
Yeah.
It didn't...
And then they had a line where, like, they didn't show the sort of... They didn't show the sort of power to make the line make sense. You just have to assume eventually it'll make sense, where they're like, hey, are you here for the, what was it? The brain surgery, the autopsy or something like that?
The lobotomy.
Lobotomy! Yes, thank you. I forgot the word. They're like, are you here for the lobotomy? And he just ignores that question because he's so over this dude. So that implies that they just cut open his head and fucking look at his brain occasionally. And he just has super regenerative abilities, so he deals.
Right, which is how he's able to regenerate from having a spike in his head.
Right, but then they don't do anything that extreme. They don't even show him heal from the spike.
I think that the whole spike thing is a lobotomy.
That would be really lame, because that's not what a lobotomy is. Shoving a spike into someone's brain isn't a lobotomy. A lobotomy is when you cut open their head and remove parts or all of their brain.
I think they can do that through a spike being inserted through the eyeball like that, too. Like, it's a very archaic method of doing it. But
yeah, that's fucking almost Egyptian.
Yeah, it's... But, I mean, early medicine, when they did lobotomies...
Hey, bro, don't knock lobotomies. You can fix some really bad sinus headaches with the lobotomy. You won't be feeling pain?
You won't be feeling anything.
Yeah, so, like, that scene could have been really cool, but it just came off as like, good job, guys. You turned this cool, like, mystical idea. Like, you know, it's mystical in the way that X-Men is, where you have this idea of a greater universe and cool powers, and it's like so much unknown here. And like, this character could be that, but they turned it into some weird Drek, like, cop moment. Where it's like, step away from the murderer! Stop doing the murderer! I will fire! Stand down! Her!
You'll love how they just didn't fire after so many warnings, and so
it's like
and then he's just an awkward standing there of, are you gonna shoot him or not?
Yeah,
Let's get this over with.
Yeah, and then they yank on the chains, and it's like, but if that was the solution, why didn't you do that right off the bat? And I mean, that's the thing. We're not trying to poke holes in this. It's because it's bad that we're now, like, more focusing on all of these problem spots.
Right. It's just...
And yeah, I think you're right. The problem is that, like, none of it is interesting, appealing, and enrapturing. None of it's captivating on a visual or character or any level.
Right. It's just, it sort of drops you in immediately with, oh, well, these people have superpowers, and that's... Okay, let's go.
And then they, like, have this stereotypical scene right off the bat of, like, oh, they bring in this powers guy. Oh, hey, they got the powers guy. Yeah, everyone at the police station's clapping because that guy's real cool. Good job, Walker. Yeah, you did it. And then Walker's like, hey, make sure, okay, I gotta go do this thing. You make sure you... I like how I'm gesturing like I'm Rocky, like, hey, make sure... Yeah, it would have been better if he was fucking Stallone.
Right, if he was Stallone levels of acting, that would have been...
I used to be a power. Like, that would be great, but no. In any case, he's just like, hey, yo, make sure, I gotta go do this thing. You make sure that you give him his dose. And he says that in a way that isn't like me talking to Bob. It's like if I were in the kitchen walking around the corner being like, oh yeah, dose him, otherwise he'll kill you.
Yeah, but it's...
And then the dude sticks him in an iron containment chamber, doesn't close the door, drops his phone, goes to pick up his phone. The dude inside does the worst, like, Rogue Legacy scale of his skin glows blue.
And then he, like, hits the door.
Goes, and then the door explodes off in a way that looks so terrible. The dude who was the partner, clearly, flies across the room, hits his head on a thing, digital blood effect there, bad blood effect, sped up footage, drops to ground. This is the first scene of the show.
Yeah. It was...
And then Walker comes out and he's like, and he just shoots him a lot after he sees his partner's dead. And then for some reason, a TMZ stand-in, Hollywood Hotspot or whatever, they actually get the guy Mario Lopez from it to be himself. Yeah, that was the dude.
Wow.
Yeah, that was one of the TMZ Hollywood Hotspot people. It was weird. It was like, you got Eddie Izzard and him, so you cared, but you didn't care enough to make this good. But in any case, to just talk about it like all gossipy, so that way later in the episode when like this vapid blonde chick who becomes a main character knows about all this, it makes any level of sense. Because you get the idea that this culture is wrapped around powers really deeply.
One thing that was really weird about that whole sequence was
that it was
they could just shoot powers and they die?
Yeah.
I'm like, that... How is that guy hard to catch?
Because that guy's name was like Metal something, like Lead something. It implied that he could just juggernaut or turn into steel skin, but then he just glowed blue and knocked open a door.
And then was shot to death.
Yeah.
And everything is so, like, heavily, like, predictable. Like, they have the line earlier in that scene where, obviously, that guy's going to drug him up and then get killed.
Yes.
It feels like that's constantly happening. Like, oh, he's now leaving her alone to get her nuts or something. She's going to escape while this happens. Like, everything is so predictable.
And it was weird because in that specific scene, like, there was some exchange. They have this blonde chick, the one I was talking about a moment ago, in an interrogation room. And she's like, can I have a phone, or can I have your phone, or can I have my phone? And she gets her phone out of her backpack, which is in this interrogation room.
Right next to her.
When she's suspected for murder, kind of, sort of. And she's just on the phone talking to someone. She's like, hey, Mom, I need to blah, blah, blah. And he's like, hey, this is blah, blah, blah. And it was like someone she didn't know. And she's like, who is this? And not once did the interrogator, the main character in the room, go, "That's weird. She doesn't know who that is. This should raise an eyebrow. Maybe I should take the phone."
Right.
But then she's like, "I'm diabetic. I need good food. Yeah, I can't eat any of this." And he's like, "Fine, I'll give you some nuts." Which I kind of expected some weird shit after that. "These nuts. You can suck them." Right, this isn't Rocky 1. Sorry. I'm
weird.
Yeah.
Weird.
Only Rocky 1's that rapey. In any case.
Wow, yeah, if that series just started getting rapey during there, that would be really weird.
Man, if that series got rapier.
Right.
I don't even know. I'm like, hey, I was talking to 2 random coworkers. I'm like, hey, you guys have seen Rocky 1, right? And they're like, yeah. And I'm like, you ever notice how rapey it is? And they just give me this look of like, what? I don't remember that. I'm like, yeah, he like stops her from leaving. And then I just go straight into the Stallone impersonation, which I guess people are not used to people being able to do that. I'm like, hey, you don't have to leave or anything. You know, I'm just going to kiss you. You don't have to like kiss me back. It'll be okay. And they're like dying, and at the same time you can see the acknowledgement in their eyes of, oh shit, that was really rapey.
Maybe we talked enough about powers.
Maybe this is too personal. But so Tosh and I were in the shower, and I put my arm up. I'm like, hey, you don't have to go. You know? Okay, there, that was that. Moving on. Powers, I do not like it. I think it's bad in every way possible. The music selection's not great. They shoot outdoor scenes with really high shutter speeds on the ground, which the aerial cam, I can understand. Attaching neutral density filters to an airborne camera is kind of fucking weird and hard and shitty. And you would get a shallower focus, but fucking it's just visually shit. It's visually garbage in a way that I haven't seen a television show be in a really long time.
Right.
Alex Mack might have been filmed better than this.
What the heck is that?
They'll know. That's good enough for me. A Nickelodeon live-action series from 1996.
Oh no!
It might as well have been Salute Your Shorts. Do you know that?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Who doesn't know?
Hey, I thought Alex Mack was the same thing. Mega 64 did a fucking clever reference to that in season 3. That was great. That was one of their funniest jokes. That and, okay, I'll take the fire exit. We don't have a fire exit. Leaps out window. That was, yeah, something. In any case, Powers. It's free for PlayStation Plus members. For a reason.
And first episode is free for everybody.
Once again, we're going to loop back around. And Eric likes it. For some reason. That I'm sure he'll explain next week. Because he might listen to this.
Listen.
Yeah. To this. Watch to this. And then he can explain next week what he likes about it and if he's seen more. I think he said he saw all 3 episodes.
He watched all 3 episodes that were available. And I think another one's available already. So maybe by next week, even more.
Oh, God. So, yeah, Uncharted 4 was pushed back to spring 2016.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah.
As much as it's like, I need a major game by the end of this year, and I'm already seeing tweets from people in the industry who are like, if you think Sony's ending this year without a large game, you're wrong. Like, they already know something.
Yeah.
Which is believable, because other than Uncharted, we know of no other games past Bloodborne.
Right. Yeah.
Shadow of the Beast was announced 2 years ago.
Right.
Basically.
Man.
A year and a half. Nothing.
It is worrying at the same time of like, what if they just don't have anything again? Like,
I'm sure E3 is going to have some great announcements. I don't know if they're going to come within the 6 months after E3.
Right? Because that's crazy. That means they have some actually really good project that's under wraps that well.
I mean, here's the thing, though.
It's Last Guardian. It's got to be Last Guardian.
I mean, it could be. Would that not be great?
It would be pretty great.
And they've been working on it. The timetables worked out where that could be the case, to be perfectly realistic here.
Yeah.
With when they abandoned development and then restarted for PS4. But that's not going to be what that video was of anyways.
No.
But yeah.
Come on, Warhawk.
Little Big Planet, yeah. Oh man, that would be great. But Little Big Planet 3 came out of nowhere. Like, that wasn't announced before E3.
Yeah, but again, that was, I don't know, that was like hardly a full next-gen game.
I mean,
it was released on PS3 after all.
It was cross-gen, but it looked really bad on PS3.
It did.
In a way where you go, did 2 look that bad? And you go back and you go, yeah, kinda. Huh. Weird. I don't remember that. Standards. They go up. So,
but I mean,
overall,
like Little Big Planet 3 is almost the HD re-release.
No, fuck that. Fuck you. They're not asking you to buy the same thing again. It has a whole new story mode and it has new features. And to be fair, it innovated in the way that like Little Big Planet 2 should have. Like I hear complaints from people like Jeff, who does GigaBoots with us, which is coming back. Just give it some time, a week or so, maybe 2. And it'll be on iTunes. Jeff doesn't like the new characters they made for that because he feels it makes it gimmicky. Everything I've seen about that looks like that is exactly what they should have done with it, because now you have better feeling ways to platform.
Like any form of variety with the platforming that doesn't involve, get in this mech or something like that.
You control a Sackbot, and like not only that, but like literally the physics that are wrapped around those characters look better than Sackboy's. Sackboy's looks really floaty. All the double jumping from the dog and all that other stuff, like the bird, looks great.
Yeah.
Looks a lot better. I still haven't played it. I should borrow Jay from Halcyon's copy and we could do a quick play, or I could do a review. I feel weird when we don't follow up on series we've done reviews of, like Call of Duty and Little Big Planet 2.
I forgot about the whole Call of Duty review for a moment there.
No, that's the easiest one to remember because it's like, what was it? I forget what I compared it to or what the comparison was, but I'm like, that's like if I stopped this review right here and screamed at Bob until he told me what the score was going to be. Or like, no, I go, that's like if I were to stop the review right here and tell you what the score was going to be, and then it cuts to me screaming at you taped into a chair.
Right.
Pretty memorable. What's not memorable is the weird joke in I Think Dead Rising 2 review where I feed Aggro a sandwich.
What?
Yeah.
I don't even remember that, yeah.
Yeah, it was a weird joke.
Yeah.
It was really jarring, really weird joke. 2010. Lower standards.
But yeah, I hope Uncharted 4 is really good when it comes out.
I'm sure it will be. Like, since they delayed it, I'm sure it will be. I was concerned if they hit at the end of this year. But, like, you give them enough time to cook it, it's going to be Naughty Dog quality.
Right.
And I'm really glad that they did this because Naughty Dog is the only developer Sony has that can launch at any other time of year. Especially with how they deal with marketing things. What's that, Starhawk? Fuck you. No one's ready to be black in space.
It's just too much.
It's too much for them to handle, those white people on Earth. IGN wrote a weird article. There's your context. So in any case. Hey, Bob.
What's up?
This isn't news, but it's relevant to the games thing, and it's sort of just what I've been doing. So we got a PlayStation TV.
Yeah.
So we can do Vita stuff.
I still haven't seen it hooked up.
No, you haven't, because I hooked it up at my place, and I was playing Flame Over on it. Thus how we're doing a quick play of a Vita game.
Crazy.
In Madness. So
we can finally let's play Muramasa.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. And you get to use a full PS4 controller.
Oh my god.
Does it have a lot of touch stuff?
No, none.
Good. Excellent, yeah. Awesome. So the Vita screen is Quad HD, which is a fourth of 1080p.
Mm-hmm.
The PlayStation TV's output is 720p. The hardware to scale from Quad HD to 720p doesn't work well enough for my eyes. And I don't know how much of it is it doing a bad scale on that end and how much of it is the TV that's a 1080p TV dealing with a 720p signal on top of that. Now, I'm sure by the time we're done fucking with it to put it on the internet,
right,
it'll look fine. Because we're going to scale that image up again to 1080p, which will give it the right number of pixels to distribute and blah, 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 blah. But fuck! It is... These Vita games are already low-res. They're already not designed to be blown up on a TV. But on top of that, you got this weird scaling. Now, it doesn't look as bad as DS games on a 3DS. but it still doesn't look as crisp and nice like it does on the Vita. Like, you look at the menus and stuff on the Vita, and you're like, hey, you don't have to go. But...
Are you kissing your Vita now?
No, I'm raping my Vita.
Okay.
It doesn't have to rape me back. But, yeah, fucking, there's some dude at home. You made that joke 3 podcasts ago. That guy's Phil because he's angry because I keep reminding people that Rocky 1's rapey. Should be called Rapey 1. In any case, so. Yeah, it's a shame because those graphics, the text, the OS itself looks so good on the Vita itself. Like, it's so much better than the PS3, and it looks so nice. And then you hook that thing up, and you go,
This didn't... No.
Also, if you use it to stream your PS4, you're now playing at 720p. That device is inept at what it's supposed to do.
Yeah,
is a good way to describe that.
That's weird. Why would they...
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have added cost to the device to make it scale up to 1080p, but it's 2014 when they were working on that, and they should have done it.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, actually, it was 2013.
Yeah.
But either way, they should have done it.
1080p was the standard they were shooting for.
I mean, the PS4 is 1080p.
The PS3
the PS3 has some games that run at 1080p, and very least the OS does.
Right.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Say, Bob.
What's up?
Mortal Kombat X doesn't get to be played by those last-gen plebeians for a while, does it?
No, they pushed that to June.
And the next-gen version's coming out when?
April 14th, I think it is.
Wow, we're pretty close.
Yeah, it's getting
cool.
Really
we should
close
be doing a quick play pretty soon, huh?
Right, and I kind of like what they're doing of just kind of not telling us a lot of stuff. Like, we're mostly in the dark on what characters are in it and such.
Are we? I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like there are videos out there.
They did release a few videos of, like, here's a whole bunch of them.
Here's Kung Lao and some other asshole.
But last time they showed the character select screen, there was still a whole bunch of blank spots.
Okay.
So
you think we're in the dark, probably in the dark.
But there's a chance
that you just haven't been paying attention.
Right. Yeah. Or haven't been adding it up and finding out, oh, that's all of them.
Shit.
But
Quan Chi's in it.
A lot of new characters. Yeah, we knew Quan Chi was going to be it. He was teased at the end of the last one.
I just love that.
Why?
Because I want to beat the shit out of his face.
Okay.
That's it. I never want to play as him. I don't want him in the story. Unless it's like right at the beginning and it starts with me punching him. Like we fade in. Interior scene. Jax is taking a dump. And beating the shit out Quan Chi's face at the same time. Quan Chi's like, oh, this is gross, because he's like gripping his head
and
with his legs.
On him, of course.
No, he's not pooping on him. He's taking a dump on a toilet, right?
Oh, okay.
But he's got Quan Chi's head right here, and he's getting splashed a bit. It's a really bad dump. I guess Jax just had ribs. And they were pretty greasy.
Okay.
He just ate a few McRibs.
This is a very weird Mortal Kombat universe you have found.
I'm just saying. That's the only way it's okay for Quan Chi to be in that story. So Jason Voorhees was announced as DLC.
Yep. He's going to be the first of their guest characters. There may be others, I guess. There's been enough rumors going around about that junk.
Yeah.
But yeah, it sounds like he's going to be in... I think the way they phrased it is he's going to be in the Fighters Pack, because the Fighters Pack is included if you buy, like, the Collector's Edition or something.
But not with a pre-order.
But not with a pre-order.
I was trying to tell my coworker that. He was like, oh, I have a pre-order. I'll probably get that. And I'm like, that's not how DLC works.
No.
Hey, Bob.
What's up?
You got a blue PS4 controller.
I did.
It looks pretty nice.
It does. It works. Unlike the one I traded in to get it.
Which didn't. So, yeah, Mortal Kombat X.
Yeah. Getting close.
So we got some games coming over to the States. Lost Dimension for the PS3 and Vita, Senran Kagura 2, Deep Crimson for the 3DS, and One Chambara Z2 Chaos for the PS4. All of them coming out this summer.
Yeah. I'm excited.
I wish Lost Dimension was on the PS4.
Right? It just feels weird that it's not.
But hey, now we have hardware to record Vita stuff.
We do, and I would told, like... A tactical RPG, that's a great fit for a portable.
It looked like a better tactical RPG than Codename S.T.E.A.M.
It did.
Because you don't spend forever waiting for the enemy's turn.
And it doesn't seem like there's a lot of weirdness and blocks that you're walking around.
And aiming.
Yeah.
So So that looks pretty cool. What's up with Senran Kagura 2? Just the sequel to Senran Kagura?
It's actually the full sequel because they did like an offshoot on the Vita, which is a sequel story-wise, but doesn't play at all like the first game.
Right.
Whereas this one's going to play like the first game, but they got it running right. So now
it looks visually pretty nice.
Right, and it's all smooth and such. Smooth. It's so smooth.
Yeah, it actually looked so nice. Admittedly, there were only 2 characters on screen, but it looked so nice that you could almost mistake it for a Vita game.
Right. And they're still fighting like hordes of enemies and such, too. So I'm surprised that it stays pretty stable framing when it's got a whole bunch of characters on screen.
Yeah, so that's cool.
I think they added another Ninja Clan 2 or something.
What's the deal with Onechabara Z2? Like, it's just another Onechabara game that came out on the PS4 near launch in Japan?
Right, like last year it came out in Japan. And
so we're getting that, and it's being localized and stuff, so that's cool.
It's actually getting a dub, which is crazy for something like this.
That's really weird.
But yeah, I was pretty excited about that one, because apparently this is the first time where it's like, they're supposed to have stepped up the gameplay a decent bit, and it's not like all the way up there with something like Devil May Cry and Ninja Gaiden, but it's a good step above Dynasty Warriors and that sort of thing.
I'm trying to think of the specific action game I have for reference as this is our C-tier action game. I would say that weird one on Steam.
The Mitsurugi Kamui?
Yeah. I think that's kind of B-grade mechanics, D-grade environments.
Right. Whereas this gets up to like C-grade environments at least, because you can fully walk through new areas.
Yeah, one might even call that B-.
Yes.
At least if we're establishing the other thing, which is like arenas as D, like that kind of elevates
I
B.
think that's an F, honestly.
Probably. You failed! This isn't a level! You've made a flat platform. F! Oh man, we should go teach at a game development college.
Yes.
We would wreck those kids. Oh man. Like they weren't already gonna get wrecked? I came to Fool's Day to learn how to make games. Aw. That's cute. But it's wrong!
But yeah, I think they talked about the pre-order bonuses and stuff for each one of them. Well, at least for Senran Kagura and Onechanbara.
Okay.
Onechanbara, you get like extra DLC costumes, and Senran Kagura they're doing a limited edition, which is just going to be the first run that has a soundtrack with it. And it's called the Double D edition, of course. It's a 2-disc soundtrack.
Oh, okay, there we go. Now it makes sense.
Now it makes sense.
That's clearly what that's about. There are 2 discs, Double D. Mm-hmm. Double disc. Mm-hmm. Double discer. Cool. I'm actually really excited. I want to see Lost Dimension. I'm going to write those guys to see if maybe we can't get a preview code, because I want to cover more Vita games.
That'd be neat.
I love the Vita. I think it's like the best portable.
Okay.
It just has a shit library.
It does. Like that holds it back from being the best portable, for sure.
But see, I'm removing that from what it is.
Okay.
Because what its games are is kind of Sony's fault. And also third-party developers. What the actual hardware is, like, imagine, right? The Game Boy Advance SP. So the Game Boy Advance SP and the Vita are like the 2 best portables ever made. Because one of them's like got a battery that lasts forever if you're playing actually both of them do, if you're playing a prior generation game for it. Which, that's a cool thing to do. I always like playing older games on newer hardware. And unlike the 3DS, the Vita does a really good job with that because it scales properly to the screen and you get all these options.
Right.
And the Game Boy Advance SP does too, and their batteries last forever when you do it. So that's like, buy a Vita so you can play PSP downloadable games. Not the worst idea.
Right.
The PSP did, by the end of it all, have a pretty good library.
I'd say so, yeah.
Unlike the Vita.
The Vita's not over yet. Okay, yeah, it's basically
Might
dead.
as well be. I mean, shit, you think they could have just made another Dissidia for it, but no. Oh, God. Fuck. So, okay, this last thing's really cool. We should have probably front-loaded the news segment with this so we could have gotten more people interested. But Harmonix is taking song requests for Rock Band 4. We're going to include a link in the description. Just go there, you tell them the title of the song and who made it, and they'll actually look into getting that into Rock Band 4. which is unprecedented.
Right, that's a really cool thing to do.
Yeah, because it shows them like what their fans actually care about having in the game instead of them going by like rough numbers of popularity and be like, well, let's stick another Foo Fighter song in there. We only have 5 song packs, probably more, 7 song packs.
Whew.
I honestly don't know what I would ask for. Probably a Modest Mouse song off of We Were Dead Before the Ship Sank, because I don't know a lot of music that I listen to that would work for Rock Band. Like, you can't put Boards of Canada in Rock Band. You can't.
You have to wonder if this will get, like, more weird international songs that we don't know about.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope them being pushed back down to an indie scale and not working with MTV Games or EA kind of gets them to try harder and get more of their own and other small bands' music, because that's the stuff I liked in Rock Band 1 and 2 a lot. I still loved Boston, you know?
Right.
But at the end of the day, I feel like my better experiences were with the songs that I just never heard outside of it.
Right, I mean, like, think about Hotline Miami. That's entirely just actually songs.
Yeah.
And those are really good songs.
Yeah, those are incredible. Which Hotline Miami 2 might be worth just for the soundtrack. I hear on Steam it's available in FLAC.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That is nice.
Yeah. I just wish I could buy it on the PS4 and get it in FLAC. You know, it doesn't have to play me back, but, you know, I'm just going to play it. Chaos Legion is a B grade action game.
Yes, it is.
Maybe C.
Combat-wise, it is definitely worse than Mitsuruga Kamui.
Yes. Okay, there. I think that was what I was trying to remember this whole time. Thank you, Box on Shelf.
Oni Chanbara, almost definitely the steps above that.
Yeah.
And I'm excited for that.
Also boobs.
Also,
just in case. Yeah, a new Warhawk would be nice. I
almost imported Oni Chanbara like 3 times now, so
yeah.
I'm excited about it just coming.
But see, here's the bad thing though. This reinforced that part of your mind where you don't buy things because you rationalize that they're going to bring things over that they almost never will.
Right. I mean, honestly, I would have done it if the price dropped at all, but it's still been at 60 the whole time.
That's right. That's why you didn't do that.
Yeah.
So what's your excuse for Puyo Puyo Tetris? We should split that. I'm totally okay with throwing
probably should
for that because
Because
goddamn that game. That's so awesome.
It is. It probably is still ridiculously expensive.
Oh, yeah. I'm like, I'll throw down $35 for that. Because I assume it's $70 because I'm entertaining the worst case scenario.
Right.
Also, the giant bomb talking about it drove up demand, so that may have affected the price too. But yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of the GigaBoots Podcast. Thanks for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the video if you're watching on YouTube. In fact, this podcast isn't making it to iTunes as quickly as the other one. Because the other one's more marketable and shorter. But yeah, thanks for watching. Look forward to that quick play of the Flame Over for the Vita. I meant to say of the Flame Over Vita.
Yep.
A Flame Over for the Vita, and also look forward to GigaBoots coming back sometime pretty soon. Thanks for watching. GigaBoots has been brought to you by the support of our producers Vincent Poverk and Cywolf via our Patreon. Consider becoming a GigaBoots patron today.